Yo, what up, motherfuckers? So, supposed to be live with Chase right now. He's currently being non-responsive, so I don't know if he's going to join us. If he does not join in about 5 minutes' time, I will create a backup stream idea and do it live in front of you. So that'll be fun. I've got really dry lips. So apologies that you're seeing me Vaseline myself. Yeah, as soon as Chase gets back to me, I'll add him in. We can get going. If you guys have questions in the meantime, as always, hit them in the comments. Okay, that should sufficiently. Yo, what's up, Facebook user? I don't know who you are, so good work. This is what it shows me. Facebook user. Sup, Dan? So, sup, Facebook user. All right, Chase is here now, so let me send him an invite. Do, 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 do. Chase Reiner. Okay, cool. So I've sent Chase the invite. He should join us in any second. I don't know exactly what he's going to show us. He's going to show us Chris Labatt. Yo, what's up, Chris? It doesn't show your name because you have to give StreamYard access to your Facebook profile. It should be in the. Is there a link in the title? Chase is here, so here we go.
What's up, dude?
We both did that. What up, dude?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I literally saw you went live, and I was like, I was talking to another person about the tool, and then I'm like, wait a second, Dan's live, and I'm like, wait, 6 p.m. his time. I didn't realize we had such a time gap.
No, 7 p.m. here it is now.
7 p.m. It's 11 a.m. here. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, you're fired. So. Yeah. So I was just telling people I don't know exactly what you're going to show us.
Well, I don't know either. What do you want to see?
Yeah, somebody was telling me about that your tool was really fucking cool.
It's
so
cool.
I figured I would ask you about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, so if you want, I can talk about it, or I can share my screen, whatever you want me to do.
Yeah, share the screen and just like show us what you can do with it.
Sure. I don't know if it you might have to click it or something.
Yep, got it. There we go.
All right, so this tool I've been making for over a year now, and really what I made it for is for a couple reasons. First of all, I was seeing that there were so many other tools that you had to buy in order to get like one feature, right? So I was using Screaming Frog to do SEO audits. I was using SEMrush to check traffic. I was using, Jasper to write the content. I was using Surfer to go find the averages. I was paying so much money for all these different tools. And so at a certain point I was like, okay, you know what? Like I need to create something where all of this stuff is just in one tool. And it's not super expensive. Like right now, the tool it has an annual pass. It's like $297 a year, which breaks down to like $24, $24.99 per month. And so if you look at most SEO tools, you're looking at paying, hundreds of dollars per month with some of the tools. And if you multiply that by 5 or 6 tools, some people are paying thousands of dollars per month. I don't know how much you pay per month for tools, Dan, but it can start to get really expensive. So I don't know if Dan just left. Dan, are you here?
You do your thing. I was like, when you were saying that, then I was like, fuck, I didn't want to say how much I was spending on tools.
Right.
Because I recently did an audit of like all my finances and stuff. And I was spending $5,000 a month.
Yeah, it's crazy. And look, I mean, some of the tools you have to pay for, like that's really the whole point of a tool though, is like you want to create something that people have to pay for because for instance, I'm never going to stop paying for hosting. I'm never going to stop paying for Stripe being able to process my payments. Like there's certain things that I have to have, right? And so I realized that there were so many tools that I had to have, but I just didn't want to pay for all of them because there were so many. So what would end up happening is I'd get one tool, I would use it for a month, and then I'd get another tool, I'd use it for a month, but I'd end up like canceling all these subscriptions, and half of the time, I'm just paying to use one feature. So anyways, the whole point of this tool is we're taking the best of all the different features and we're putting it in one tool and we're trying to make it super affordable for people that are new. Okay. Now, really the tool is directed to people that are new to SEO. Why? Because we're really trying to rank for things that are super easy. And so the tool is really built around ranking for keywords that are easy and fast to rank for. So you can start bringing in some leads, start bringing in some clients. We're not like some crazy number crunching data tool like Cora, or, there's these other tools that will go in and they'll look at 2,000 different ranking factors. And then you get all these things, which I totally respect. I love those tools, but we're positioned for really people that are new to SEO and they really want to rank for something easy and quick, and they don't want to have to spend a bunch of time doing it. So that's the spiel. It works for advanced as well. Like you can rank for competitive keywords with this tool, but I'm just telling you the direction of the tool. Really, we're just trying to get people their first few SEO clients so they can start making enough money to leave their, normal job and make a full-time income doing SEO.
So is it a local ranking tool, or is it?
A lot of our customers use it for local. I use it for local. I think local is great because you're usually finding really, really easy keywords. There are easy keywords that are national, right? And I'll talk about what we do to track, whether or not something's difficult or easy. And there's all kinds of different ways you can measure it. But let me just show you here. So this is the dashboard. And the reason why this looks so weird is because we actually just built a framework where there's going to be traffic metrics in this. And so kind of like what you would see with other SEO tools, you'd have all your different projects, and then it's going to show you historical ranking data. So you're going to see all the different, if there's traffic drops, what does the last year look like? Is the traffic going up or down? How many keywords is the website ranking for? But right now, this dashboard is just the projects. So you can use it just to track the projects, but it's not showing you the traffic yet. So let's just go to a website that I'm working on right now. We just actually used this tool to rank for this website. We used pretty much all artificial intelligence content, GPT-3 content, to rank for web design in Castle Rock, which is just an easy local keyword, but it actually brings in leads. We're getting people calling us for web design. So, it's not a lot of calls, it's a couple calls, right? But again, if you can just get that first win in, that's what I found a lot of people need.
Yeah, and if you do 10 of those small cities.
Exactly. And even just the confidence boost. I know a lot of people who want to get into SEO, but they think, well, I would never be able to rank a website, And so if you can just rank your first website, rank your first keyword, and you can show your clients or your prospects like, hey, look, I'm ranking.
And most importantly, show yourself that you can rank something, right?
Exactly. And so it's the combination of the, having more confidence, showing people that you can do it, showing yourself that you can do it. And, that's why I like going for the easy keywords. But anyways, if we look at this new one that we're going for, the car detailing Phoenix. So we're going to try to rank for car detailing here. I'm actually in Phoenix, Arizona. And the reason why I'm here is I was in California and I was like, you know what? I need to pack everything and leave. I just wasn't into California, and I've lived there my whole life, but it's weird over there right now. I don't know how it is where you're at, Dan, but California is not good. So anyways, these are a bunch of keywords that we're tracking. Okay. And so we have easy keywords, medium keywords, difficult keywords. I'll tell you what that means in a second, but this is just the dashboard. And then what the tool actually do is it does do rank tracking. So when you put in your website, if you start ranking for stuff, that your rankings will start popping up in here where you're ranking. You can see we just built the website yesterday. So we're not ranking for anything, obviously, right?
Just for the record, I am competition for you for that keyword.
Are you really?
Yep.
That's awesome.
So well, if you get to number one, you beat me.
Well, that's cool. I love that. Yeah. I mean, I don't really consider you competition though, Dan, because I'm really doing it more for a case study. I'm not doing it because I'm like trying to create.
No, it's just one of my clients is selling stuff there.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, like I said, it's more of an experiment. A lot of the rankings that I do is really just to show people that it's possible, right? So even if I end up ranking the website, I'll probably hit you up, Dan, and be like, "Hey, do you want this?" you know. So, anyways, the way I was able to find these keywords. So what you can do is you can go into keyword research, enter keywords, and let's say we wanted to look for keywords around, car detailing, Arizona. You can do other things as well, like mobile detailing. Let's say Phoenix. You can enter up to 3 at a time. That'll probably give us enough. We'll just press submit. What the tool is doing right now is it's querying Google's API, and it just found us 173 keywords. Now, if you see the difficulty here, what this is it's a measurement of how many people have these keywords in their title. So for instance, with car detailing Arizona, it says less than 10. Now you might be thinking, well, Chase, I just checked this and the in title results are 5, right? So it's different. Now, actually, no, that one's actually right. Sometimes the reason why I said that is because sometimes you'll see that it says, let's say 100, or sometimes, this will say less than 10, and then Google will say, oh, there's 100 results. So if you keep doing this search and you search in different areas, like some people might search this right now and see like 30, some people might see 50. And that's because this doesn't always show you accurate results. Like if I do in title on Google, look, only one title actually has car detailing Arizona. You might be thinking, well, what if you use all in title? Because that's supposed to show you the exact match, anything with that exact phrase in the title. And still, look at this. It only shows us one that actually matches that. So the actual search on Google, for some reason, it doesn't show you the right results. However, when you query the API, which is what we're using, it'll show you the actual results. And so the cool thing about our tool is it will show you the actual in title amount where the search result doesn't. And I don't know what that's worth to you or your audience, Dan, but for me, I like to know the exact number of people that are actually having this exact keyword in their title, because I know
I pay for an all in title tool. I think it's just called allentitle.co.
Yeah, so there's one other tool that does that, but again, now you're paying for another tool, right? So do what you want. There's so many tools that do different things. Our goal is to make sure that we get the best of each feature. So anyways, if we look at this, we can see there's really just one website going for this keyword in their title. And that's really the only way that we're looking at the keyword metrics. So we did that for the web design site, Web Design Castle Rock. We found that there was only a few, obviously, I get the robot. We found that there was only a few people targeting that. We did it for holistic doctors in the town that I was in, Santa Barbara, California. We found that there was only a couple. I'm not going to do the robot thing, but anytime that we find these keywords that have lower in title results, they just rank pretty quickly because they're just easy keywords. Nobody's targeting them. Now, that's how the tool started. What we realized is that all these people were finding keywords, but they didn't know how to optimize for them. So what we did is we thought, okay, well, let's take these keywords, create a content editor similar to the Surfer tool. And what this is going to do is you put in the keyword car detailing Arizona. It's going to go to Google. For those of you guys who don't know how Surfer works or other tools that do this stuff, it's going to go to Google. It's going to query car detailing Arizona, and it's going to go to each result, and it's going to take the averages, right? So it's going to copy this one. It's going to copy the next one. It's going to basically scrape all these pages, and it's going to add up all of the words and the different things like the images, everything, and it's going to basically tell you in the tool what you need to hit for all those averages. So you can see, okay, we need to mention detailing a certain amount of time. We need to mention services a certain amount of time. We need to have at least 1,000 words to meet the average. But what's even cooler is now we have AI GPT-3 where you can just throw the keyword in here or whatever you want it to write about. It's going to print out completely unique content here, and it's going to pass Copyscape. We bring this into Copyscape, and this is what we did for that web design site. And we ranked it in under 2 weeks with a brand new website. It wasn't even an expired domain or anything. It was just a regular website. You can see no result. And so the content does rank. And so what we're doing is we're basically taking all the content, right? We're just adding more and more until this hits about 100 score. But what's even cooler is we're going to give people the ability to outsource this as well. So if you go into your dashboard, you can actually assign this to a content writer, and you can give them a dashboard. So if I go like this, I can send this link to anybody and they don't need to log into the tool. And what's going to be even cooler is we're adding a feature very soon where they can click edit. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring them into that content editor. It's going to tell them the average they need to hit, and it's going to give them GPT-3 so they can just generate all the content. So at that point, you're just sending this to people and having people click buttons to generate the averages and meet the averages. And at some point, our next goal, Dan, is to be able to actually have a plugin. So not only are they going to generate all the content for you, but they're going to click publish, and it's just going to get pushed right to your website.
Yeah, Surfer do that, don't they?
What's that?
Surfer, I think Surfer do that at the moment.
They have a plugin, yeah. Another cool thing about the tool, and this is really, I think, where one of the big reasons why I like the tool, besides the keyword research and the content stuff, but is the audit. So most tools that you're going to see that look like this are not cloud-based, right? You're going to have to use desktop software.
That's a really important question. Can I do this from my iPad?
I was about to say, you can literally walk into a business and run one of these audits like with your phone. And so if I click on Excel here, not only is it going to give me the audit, but it's going to give me all the conditional formatting, right, in 2 seconds. So I could print this whole thing out for the business, be like, look at all these reds, right? And that's actually another thing, Dan, that one of the goals with this app is actually make it one of the very first, very usable or mobile friendly apps, like an actual app where people can go in, run an audit, do everything that they need to do. It's mobile friendly, but we want to make it an actual app, right? Where you can be sitting on the couch doing keyword research or doing audits if you wanted to.
We do have a quick question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Tom Driver asks, is there a way to export this data so you can do this as an audit similar to Chase's old Excel spreadsheet?
Yeah. So obviously, if you're using the checklist that I used to have, which is, going through like 1, 2, 3, for instance, is there a fast load time? Is there SSL on the site? We don't really have it like that in a sense. Now it's kind of one of the things that I want to do for the tool, and this is, just to answer this question, is I want to be able to take all this data and actually turn it into a checklist like that, where it says, page speeds on average are 20 seconds. Page analytics on average pages, you have 10 out of 20, whatever, right? Right now, the way you do it is you do the crawl, you enter a website, like let's say chasereiner.com, and then it's going to go say, okay, every single page has analytics on it, right? Just scrolling through here, we can see pretty quickly that all the analytics is filled out. The response times on all the pages pretty fast, right? And so if it's not, though, if it's slow, it's going to score a red. There's security certificates on all the pages. We can see some of the pages are ranking for keywords. We can see a lot of the pages aren't matching the H1 with what's in the title. So we'd want to go fix that. A lot of pages are missing meta descriptions. You might be thinking, well, Chase, what the heck? This is your SEO. This is your site. You should have perfect SEO. I know. I just don't spend enough time on it. Okay.
We often neglect our own sites.
Right. Exactly. Classic SEO excuse. Status codes, emails, phone numbers, social links, contact forms, title tags, word counts, H tags, image counts, heading counts, paragraph counts. I mean, you get all this stuff. And one of the things as well, Dan, that we're working on is using the API that we now have integrated. And you see all these reds here. We were going to have a button that goes and just generates everything for all the reds. So basically turns them to yellows, and then you would actually see what the change is with the yellow. So it's like, oh, we just generated all of your meta descriptions in one click. Now, a lot of people ask me, they go like for instance, like what you were saying, Dan, you're like, well, there's a tool for that. There's a tool for that. I think the biggest thing that people get when they grab our tool is that, I'm on literally every day on YouTube. What do you guys need? What can I do to make you be successful? Like, how can I help? And so I'm building the tool for the people, right? I'm not like somebody that's at the giant head of a company and you never hear from the person, you never talk to them, right? I'm here like every single day. What do you guys want? What do you guys need? Everybody wants AI content. Okay, we're building AI content, right? And so that's really what my goal is ultimately, is just try to get as many people successful as possible. I love hearing like every day, oh, I just got my first client. I just got my first audit sale. I just was able to leave my job because now I have money coming in from these clients. And so for me, that's like the best thing ever. And I love being able to do that where most people have $300. Not a lot of people have $2,000 or $3,000 to throw at a high ticket coaching program or, whatever else you can buy online right now. Not a lot of people have the money to go buy Surfer and then, Ahrefs and then SEMrush and then Screaming Frog, right? It gets very expensive. And so, my tool isn't, and I tell people this all the time. I go, look, my tool isn't like, it's not an Ahrefs. It's not a SEMrush. It's not like some super developed tool that has, a whole team of 80 developers. It's a tool that I'm literally building by myself with my own money, with a couple developers and that's it. Right. And so that's pretty much the tool, but, we're putting a lot, I put pretty much all my time into it, Dan. And, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, how good is GTP3?
So there's a lot of stuff coming out about it right now. I mean, it's actually, me as the guy that's like creates all the polarizing topics, like SEO is dead and people always freak out at me, right?
You don't need links to rank.
Well, it's kind of that right now with GPT-3. So everybody's either 50%, I hate GPT-3, doesn't rank, 50%, it ranks, you should use it. It works amazing.
I don't think the question is, does it rank? Because I mean, we've seen like you're doing a case study right now where that happens, right? So it's without question it can rank. It's just, after it ranks, do I then need to pay somebody to go in and make it read worthy?
Right. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it's hard to say because I think at the end of the day, it all comes down to UX. If people go to your website and they're not converting, they don't like what they're getting, then something needs to change. And so I really like going in and looking at analytics. From what I've seen with the websites that we're ranking with GPT-3, people are converting just the same. They're spending the same amount of time on the website as you would with a website that doesn't have GPT-3. I think my only issue is that, at some point, algorithmically, Google will probably come out and say, hey, we're detecting GPT-3 or whatever, and it's not, but I think it's more of an arms race at this point because you got so many platforms using AI. Like you have Facebook using AI, you have Google, you have Twitter, you have all these big platforms, and they're like, hey, don't use AI, that's cheating. But then they're going out and they're using AI, right? Everybody's feeding the algorithm just being on those platforms. So you got all these platforms that are trying to make sure you don't game the system, but by the time they come out with an update and then GPT-4 comes out and whatever, it's like it's so hard to keep up with these days because there's so much technology advancing so fast. So I'm not really worried about it. I think you're right though, Dan. I do think that when people are building it, they should build it to be good. You shouldn't just go and print out a bunch of content and it just looks random and garbage. You should use the tool.
That's why I was asking, because I was speaking to somebody yesterday who is just doing these like million-page site builds.
Yeah.
Every single keyword in every single small town and area of the UK.
Right.
And they're getting tons and tons of leads. And I'm like, yo, like they've not written a single word of content. They've just gone beep.
Right. And I agree with you. I think that, I was talking to somebody like that the other day too, Dan, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm building all these pages and blah, blah, blah. And, I think there's so many different ways to win. And I think that there's so many ways that work. And then there's so many ways that work, but there's like not a long-term strategy for it. Right. So I think you need to be careful with what you do. In the case of this, the tool, the way we position it, or the way I try to position it, is that use it as a tool. Use it as a tool to get people interested in buying from you. Like we're not going and trying to rank for affiliate. We're not trying to go and do, massive websites. We're not trying to do SEO for Amazon. We're trying to get somebody their first client, right? And so if that's the case and you're going for a keyword that has like 200 searches and it's easy difficulty and you build some AI content and you rank it, that's usually enough to get a couple clients coming in where you're now making, what you would make working a 9-to-5. So
yeah, right.
So again, it's like, how do you position it? And that's really how I position the tool, and how we position the tool is like, use it to get clients, use it to help small businesses, they have these websites, but there's literally no content on them. They're not targeting any keywords and their audits suck. And you look at the audit and it's like all their pages suck. Fix that stuff, make money with it. As far as scalability and like all the different things that you could do, and like, should we build 1,000-page websites? I don't even get into that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen so many people succeeding with so many different types of things. It's hard for me when people say to me, "Oh, should I do this?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, I've seen it work."
Right. Yeah, and you know what? I'm on the same boat. One of the things that I discovered recently is that for so long I've always been trying to discover like what I should do, right? And I see all these people making money. They're doing NFTs, they're doing crypto, they're doing mass page sites, they're doing whatever. And I was always pivoting. I was doing one thing and another and another, and I was going nuts, I felt like. And then eventually I realized, I'm like, look, the people that are truly successful are really just the people that stick to the same thing. And for me, I could never do it. I'm like, no, it gets too boring. But the reason I think it got so boring for me is I was so focused on the what, like what I'm going to do, instead of the why I'm going to do it. And so now that I focus on the why, which is, why do I work? Well, I really want to help people have financial freedom. Why do I think that SEO is the fastest way to do that? By getting clients, because I did it. So for me, my why is stronger than my what. And so before I would like say, oh, well, I don't like SEO, and then I don't like this, and whatever. Now I'm like, look, it doesn't matter. My why is that I want to help people get financial freedom. And I think that the best way of doing that is through this, because I've done it. I know that there's other ways they can do it. I see it all the time. I see people do it. Have I done it? No. So why am I going to focus on it?
So if somebody wants to run this Shine Ranker and rank a site, you already have case studies on to show people exactly how to do this, right?
Yeah. So I mean, we're building those right now. So like before, when I would do SEO, I would use all these different tools, and then I'd be like, yeah, go buy SEMrush, go buy whatever. But I was like, wait, I'm just promoting all these other companies, and I don't even really have anything to do with them. Like, I just didn't really care. Now that I've been building the tool,
that'd be really stupid, guys. Go buy Shine Ranker.
Now, what I do is I focus on trying to create case studies with our tool. The tool's still new. I mean, we're ranking websites, but like we're ranking clients' websites, we're ranking our own websites, and we have if you go on I don't know if you want me to promote my YouTube channel or not, Dan, but
go ahead, I don't go.
On YouTube, I have real live over the shoulder training streams where you can literally watch for an hour me literally clicking on the different buttons, being like, all right, I'm going to generate content now, or whatever I'm doing, and then starting with a brand new website and then at ranking. So I try to be as transparent as possible. I think one of the biggest problems with the industry is like people will show you case studies, but then they won't really show you them. They'll just be like, yeah, we're ranking. It's like, well, what did you do? Right. And so I try to put my money where my mouth is. And I'm like, hey, look, I'm going to go live and I'm going to rank this website in front of you over the next week. And I do it with a brand new website. And I've done it with roofing sites. I've done it with iPhone sites. I've done it over and over and over. And I have it all documented.
And then once people have used your tool, they're ready to build links and they should come to me.
100%. And that's why I actually wanted to, I wanted to do a stream with you at some point, Dan, where, we go do a link audit, because it's funny. People always bring me on to their live streams or whatever. And they're like, well, what do we do about tiered whatever and this and linking? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I have no idea. But it's because I just don't like, it's not that I don't think it works. It's because it's so funny because people always got so mad at me, and I would say, well, I don't do link building, and it's true. I don't do link building. Do I not think it works? I do think it works. I just don't do it. Right. So
yeah. The thing is, it's really difficult to give link advice at the moment, because I think I heard, Josh Pachynski, right? That
yep.
He said a long time ago that Google are done with updating the link algorithm. And I think he's right. And I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff, but I think on this thing, he's right. But So it's really hard for me to say to somebody, this is a shit link or this is a bad link, when there are people ranking with tons of those types of links. So it's really hard to give a definitive answer. And I hate to say I don't know or it depends when somebody asks me a direct question. But I think it's most of the time that is the thing. So all I show people now is, here's how we build links. This is what we deem a quality link. And this is the stuff we're going to look into.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I think the more we get into SEO, the more we're going to start saying that with anything, right? Whether it's links or content or on page, it's just like, I don't know. I don't.
Do you know the shit thing is? Well, like, because there's so much skin in the game, like links is a huge fucking business, right? People are making millions selling links and stuff. There's there's a couple of people who determine the whole industry. So they say, this is what makes a good link. And then every link that doesn't match that criteria is then deemed as shit and no one will even buy it. But the fact is, people like me who can do our own testing, we go, well, those links that you've just said are shit. They actually rank sites. So we'll just buy them all really cheap and we'll rank all of our sites. Because everybody who listens to like those certain people who are the industry leaders, they go, well, we're not buying links that don't match that criteria anymore.
Well, and what's even crazier if you think about this is that a lot of those metrics come from third-party sites, right?
So I know, right?
You think about the marketing that those websites get, just create a tool that just gauges a page, right? Make it the industry standard. And it's like,
and how many times in our life has the tool that people use changed? Like, I don't remember the last time I heard anybody say DA. And when we first got into this business, that was all anybody spoke about. Now it's DR, and like they're completely different metrics.
Right. Yeah. I think when I was starting, it was all the Moz metrics, and now it's like, I don't even know if people go to, is Moz even a big thing anymore? I don't see anything.
No, well, it's I know they still rank for like how to get started in SEO, but
right.
Other than that,
yeah, I mean, they went downhill. I'm looking at even just their YouTube channel, and it's like a couple hundred views.
I think community-led stuff took over.
Well, somebody bought Moz, right, and then just kind of drove it to the ground, probably.
Yeah, and Rand left, didn't he? So
he started his own site. It's weird. I feel like Rand and Brian Dean both kind of did that. Like, they kind of did the same thing. They like sold their stuff, and now they're doing aren't they both doing stuff around like trends or something?
Yeah, but do you know, stuff like that annoys me, man, so much, because Brian Dean, when you mention his name to anyone, they're like, yeah, skyscraper technique. And it's like, we were already doing that for every single site. Then he gave it a silly name and told them a strategy that everyone else was using, and now he invented it.
Well, it's smart. I mean,
he's so clever.
Again, it's the same thing as like DA and PA and all that stuff. Like, people are just renaming PageRank, right?
If you want to be famous in SEO, Brian Dean is the role model for it.
Well, I think that if you want to be known in SEO, you want to come up with really you want to come up with things like, for instance, with the AI stuff right now, one of the smartest things you could do is like call it something, like call it something that like you can tie to yourself, right? Like AI content, you could call it, I don't know,
the Dan Ray method.
The Dan Ray method, the Dan Ray robots or something. You know what I mean? Like, just come up with something, because now it's like
Dan Ray bot.
Anytime somebody thinks of AI, now they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's the Dan Ray technique, right? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's smart though, because it's like taking a trend that works, that people know works, and then just capitalizing on it, coming up with your own.
But it's
name.
So silly, because like, look at what you've done in SEO, right? You've gone on YouTube, done everything that you've ever done live in front of everyone's face. You think that'd be more valuable than a dude who's released, 30 odd videos in Brian Dean? And he's got millions and millions of subs.
Yeah, but then at the same time, you don't know how much these people make, right? Like,
Well, he
there's
made a
plenty.
lot selling Backlinko, you think?
Well, I think I know how much he made, but I
Yeah,
can't say it.
the reported fees. Yeah.
But like, there's plenty of people that I know, Dan, that they create really good content and they get like 0 views, but they make like insane money. So I mean, I think a lot of people, they get mad because they see how many views people are getting, but it's like it doesn't really translate. Like, my friend the other day was showing me a gaming channel, and he was like, "Dude, there's 3.5 thousand people watching." I'm like, "Yeah, but they're children. Like, none of them have money."
Yeah,
So you know, I think it's hard to not get caught up in the, like, I have way less views now with like YouTube and stuff because I don't put as much time into it than I used to. I used to have way more views, but I make like way more money. So again, it comes down, I think again, it comes down to your why. It comes down to like, why do you get up in the morning? Like, is it because you're worried about, what other people are doing? Or are you worried about like for me, I used to get so worried about other people, and now I'm just like, dude, I don't care. Like, I know that when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to go help like 10 new people today, and they're going to be successful.
yeah. Well, I got a lot of what I do in SEO now. It's been done. It's been spoken about by even by me several times. Like, I'm not doing anything new that's groundbreaking. So this is why I bought the magazine, because I've literally have no idea how to run a magazine. So every single part of it was a challenge for me, and I think I'm there. Like, I've got a magazine that's ready to go. It's being printed this week. So
Like an SEO one, or?
no, it's a. Have you heard of Bazaar magazine?
Mm-mm.
It was one of the biggest fetish magazines in the world. So you're going to see boobs and tattoos and latex. And I just knew nothing about it, but I was offered the chance to buy it, so I did. And yeah, I've launched a magazine now
Nice.
and learned a ton of new skills. And that's what I needed in my life, because I was doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think like if you don't have a variety, you're gonna get bored. But at the same time, like, because you've spent so much time on something, you're really, really good at it. And I think part of being really good at something makes it boring, right?
Yeah.
Because it might not be groundbreaking for you, but I guarantee somebody that's brand new is gonna be like, "Holy cow, this is crazy."
Yeah, absolutely. And then there has to be a way for the person who's brand new to find their way to your content. So you have to make the beginner level stuff.
Well, and I think most content on the front facing side of things is beginner level. You
Yeah.
you look at, for instance, people like Brian Dean or Neil Patel, and it's like you're gonna be getting really, really basic content, but 90% of their traffic is new people. So
Does Neil Patel even still do SEO? Like, I think he just does other stuff now, right? He's so famous outside of
well,
SEO.
I think he's at the point where he doesn't really care. Like, I mean, I saw an interview with him where he showed up in like a robe eating cereal, like he just
I
doesn't
like it.
care. When you're making that much money, it just doesn't matter anymore. You've already beat the game,
Yeah. Like,
So
you're so famous in your thing that you've become famous outside of your thing.
well, yeah, and that's the goal. I mean, and I think that this is what's always funny to me is people. This one guy came to me and he's like, I made all this money doing car detailing, doing a car detailing business. And, I started selling courses and all these people were buying it. And the first couple of months I made like 40K, but now I'm going to go teach people, how to sell courses. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, you're good at car detailing, like scale that, like teach people how to get it, teach people how to achieve financial freedom. And eventually you're going to have so many people that have achieved financial freedom that you're no longer doing car detailing. You're like, now you're speaking, right? Because now you're just like, hey, look at how I made all these people successful.
Yeah. But I like stuff like that. People who double down on what they actually know, because I mean, I've tried to do several things business wise that I didn't know what I was doing, and it bit me in the ass, like, big style.
I think, yeah, all the biggest mistakes really just come from being inconsistent, just
And
like,
you know what, as well? Anytime I've done anything for ego, I've been like, oh, I'm famous now, I can do that. Nah, that thing fails immediately.
yeah, it's hard though, because I think again, it's like you put in a lot of work and you expect a result, and then, sometimes you don't get the result, and it's like, what does that mean, right?
Yeah. I think a lot of times it means that you weren't really feeling it. You weren't doing it from a good place.
Right. It totally. And I think a lot of the time, like when you're doing it from the wrong place, you're going to give up very quickly. You're going to be like, I don't feel good, or you're going to lead with ego and you're going to say, that really affected me. But when you're really on it and you're like killing it and you don't care and you're just really successful and you really like the thing that you're doing, it's very hard to have other people bring you down because you believe in it, right?
But then it comes a case of like, no matter what you say, no matter what other people say, what you said was correct, and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, that too. You can get like way too into it, and then you're just like being crazy and telling everybody that they're not non-believers. Then you're building a cult, right?
The non-link building cult,
right?
Yeah.
You kind of have to have somewhat of a cult though, because if you don't have a cause, you don't have like a common enemy, you don't have something that you're fighting for, a lot of times people just get bored.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. I think a lot of the problems that we have, like I might call some people out, but I'm not going to say like any names. A lot of people bought into my most recent, like I was doing this thing where I was like, right, all I want is 100% success rate of people who bought my thing succeeded with the goal of the thing. So I was like, right, fuck it. I'm going to put every single moment I have into helping these people. I'm going to drag them. And the goal wasn't even that high. It was something like, I think I said I'd make them £5,000 a month each. And it was a fucking shambles. Basically, a lot of people, so many people get in their own way, and I was like, here is a proven strategy, right? I'm going to do it alongside you so we all can see it working. And I sent a bunch of emails and made £10,000 from the first set. I think 15,000 actually from the first set. One guy gave me 10 grand, one gave me 5. And these people did not send a single email. And I had 10 of them. So people do just get in their own way. If they don't believe it, that's why I said it was important earlier when proof of concepts to themselves that they can rank a site, because I think that's really important.
Yeah. And I think it is really frustrating too. Like when you have the ability to become so successful, but then you see other people, they can't even like send an email. Right.
Because I was running this thing on the premise that if you need clients, I'll give you the offer, and all you need then is traffic. So you send enough emails to get a client. To fulfill the service, it's just link building. So you send emails. So no matter what your problem is, send more emails, right? But nobody sent the first set.
Yeah. And I think what it comes down to is like, I try not to sell the things that are promising a lot anymore. Not because I don't think that I can't get people results. It's because that I really truly believe that everybody starts really just to get to the first step, right?
Yeah.
So like going from, not having a client to doing an audit and getting a client or something easy, right? Because that first step is going to give them the momentum to keep going up. But if I'm like, hey, and I had a high ticket program, I was trying to get people like, a whole agency running for themselves, 20 clients, whatever.
Yeah.
But pretty much all of them didn't do it because it was such a big thing for them that they just gave up instantly.
Yeah. And I'm going to, like, Tom just had a question of how can you not even send an email? And I don't think it's, to answer you, Tom, it's not about being able to send an email. Of course they can send an email. I think it's the fear of failure. So if they don't send emails, they can't fail at sending emails, right? And they can't be like, oh, this is special for everybody else and not me. And I think it's a huge mindset thing. And some of these people had been millionaires previously on previous business options and just hadn't got it in them to do this for some reason. And they were watching me do it live. I was like next to them on video, like I am with Chase now, sending the emails myself, and they could not do it. The fear of success and fear of failure, to me, they're the same thing. Yeah. Anyway, we've kept Chase for long enough, I think.
It all comes from a place of scarcity, right?
Yeah.
Where you're just worried that you're not going to be able to do it.
There's so many people. Like one of these guys had been in his job for a long time, and he's been following me for a long time. And finally took the bullet, like bit the bullet, and decided, I'm going to buy something and I'm going to take it seriously. And he went all the way, did all the work exactly on time. One of the first guys to finish all the projects, whatever. Got to the bit where you actually put it in front of clients, and he couldn't do it. And this guy hates his job and really wants to quit. Just couldn't do it. He didn't hate it enough, I think.
Yep.
Right, we've kept Chase long enough, guys, because we're not even talking about his tool anymore. I think you're going to give us a subscription, right, to give as a competition?
Sure. Yeah, whatever you want to do. I was gonna tell you whenever we get to the, end of this. I could tell you after. I could tell you now. I mean, I have a, we'll talk about it after.
Yeah. Okay. So, right, guys, leave a comment below, and I'm going to pick a random winner from. You can do it on any of the platforms. So we're on Facebook and YouTube at the moment. Leave a comment, and I'll pick a random winner. And you'll get whatever Chase is going to give us. It'll be some sort of subscription to Shine Ranker.
Yeah, I'll give away a year for free.
There you go. A year's subscription to Shine Ranker. And if you don't win it, go and fucking buy it. See you guys later. Bye.